man, yes, said to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
Yeah. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right. I ain't gonna tell you no lies. We on screen. We talking about Atlanta, episode 6, season 3, white fashion. You know what I'm saying? We up in here doing our thing. So you up in here, you helping out, you assisting, you all right. So we got co-hosts up in here. Say what's up.
Hey, my name. Shout out to
You want to shout out? Do some shout outs.
Yeah. Shout out to Jason.
Rashad. How you? Marcus. All right. So real quick, big shout out to the teams for Tuskegee Airs and the team of Pac Sampson. I released a video yesterday, I believe, which was a moment with myself and my son, just reading through the comics, speaking about the comics, talking about the comics, and just kind of sending a thank you out to these two teams that have made the kind of the art and the stories that we can, that we can enjoy for years to come, that look like, this little guy right here, where he can be the hero. You know what I'm saying? Where he can be a hero, where he can, you know what I'm saying?
Have a sword.
He can have a sword. He can do a side rush. He can fly.
Side rush.
Yep. He can fly the P5000s. You know what I'm saying? He can be a pilot. You know what I'm saying? He can be a hero. So we were just saying thank you to those teams. So shout out to Mr. Rashad. Mr. Jason, Mr. Greg, Mr. Marcus, for creating those comics, for doing the crazy artwork. Yeah, and everyone out there that's just making the lore for our children. It's definitely needed. It's necessary. It's needed, it's necessary, it's important. And it ties into an episode like this where, we need to support. You gotta go? You gotta go? You good?
Yeah.
All right, go and you can roll back. Where we can support our Black comic book creators, Black novelists, you know what I'm saying, that are creating the lore to enthrall our children in amazing stories that have them in the foreground and not the background. So with that said, I want to give a big shout out to them and ask you, do you think, you know what, let me throw this in the chat real quick. I'm gonna throw a poll up and see, because I want to know real quick, from your perspective, is Van Wylin, is Van Wylin right now? Because we're chilling in the episode. You got the crew together. Darius, Earn, Paperboy. They're doing the thing. Earn is in a random hotel. Looks up. You're like, oh, Van is here? The girl been gone for weeks. She just been gone. And like we said before, a lot of people been asking, yo, is she all right? Is she cool? What's going on? It seemed like old girl is, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like, hey, she just, right now, she just zoned out, you know, and even when she meets Ern, or even when she sees Ern, she's just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, you know, like nothing's wrong. And he's like, we're parents. Like, where have you been? Where are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you been doing? Like, I called your mom, and on the real, when I'm looking at this scene, I'm like, you know you missed that girl. Just going to say you was worried about her safety because you still in love. You know what I'm saying? Still in love. Show enough in love with you. You know what I'm saying? That he should have just said, yo, I'm still in love with you, girl. Like, yo, I can't have you running off like this. You know what I'm saying? You making my nerves bad. I missed you. I was worried about you. I was scared for you. All right, you know what I'm saying? That's what he should have said. But he ain't say that right now. But we get him, of course, the way ATL or way Atlanta does, is we get an interesting play on the issue with Soho Karen, where, you know, Van been out there wilding them streets, but Soho Karen, the version of Soho Karen in this, follows her in the hotel. She's like, you stole something, I saw you, and she accosts her. Now, of course, it plays out a little differently because, you know, the people in the hotel actually, you know, stood up for people that, you know, were being attacked. But the trip on this side is like, yo, Van, hold up, but did you take it though? Because Van, you've been, you know, something ain't clicking. So the way he played it was cool. The way she played it was cool. But of course, we all noticed when Ern said, my fiance, I was like, oh, my fiance though? Oh, snap. Don't you tell no lies. You know what I'm saying? Don't be coming up in here spitting no falsehoods. Homie said, my fiance. And the way it came off was so smooth and so honest and so real. Hey, I know where you at, brother. See, you know what I'm saying? Y'all had some time apart. Y'all have both grown a little bit. Normally I'd say if you're in a bad relationship or stuff ain't working out, don't jump back into it. But if y'all had some time to change a little bit, to grow again, there's nothing wrong. If the feelings are still there, there's nothing wrong with saying maybe we should try again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. And in this case, it seemed like Ern, the way he was looking at her at the party, you know, with the dude, they cut the tree down. And then here, I'm like, oh, snap. So, of course, they get the free room because he act like he had it, like he was about to get a stay. And he's like, I can pay for the room. I just don't want to deal with the problem. So he get the room for free, at least the first night for free. And cool thing is, we flipped to them in the hotel room. Oh, Van straight up, Van in the shout out to Marquita Lestar and Sade Sellers. Yo, got the shea butter queen in there. Got the golden lights glistening off your skin, the skin glow. You know what I'm saying? He looking at his girl. He like, yeah. And all I can say is, I mean, he was, you know, she came up to him. She put her arms around him. He put his arm around her. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's a black love. Like, come on now. Don't you lie to me. Come on, Ern. This Ern should have been like, all right, girl, you know I still love you. You know what I'm saying? Let's go and make this work. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're overseas. You know, you're getting your work on. You get a check. It's been a while. Y'all been apart. Y'all have had your experiences. Y'all have changed. You know, y'all shared a child. Now y'all back together. And I was like, you know what? This is a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, seems ships pass, man, because Van is still, I don't know what is going on with old girl. Yo, she's gone. Well, I'm sure we're gonna find out what's up, but Van is just, she is just on another, she's just somewhere else right now. And I mean, honestly, I feel Ern, because Ern's like, yo, you just rolling out here, just doing whatever. Like, yo, you gonna mess around, get hurt, get kidnapped. I don't know where you at. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared for Van because she is out there. She's sort of unprotected, and I mean, we don't know. Yo, we don't know what's gonna happen to this girl because I think old girl's still stealing, and yo, you don't want to be messing around in no other country jail, man. Like, you know, you can't get back. You trying to contact the embassy or something. Like, yo, man, I'm worried for Van. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried for Van, but you know, she be good. She'll make it out. It's a TV show, so she gonna be all right. She, you know, ain't nothing gonna happen to the girl. So, let's get into the show. White fashion. You know what I'm saying? And basically, this is just, you know, ATL or Atlanta. Basically, oh snap! Tyler Bennett in the house, Ghost MKC in the house. What up? Nice to see y'all. Sunshiny faces. You know, of course, when we're dealing with, all right, hold up. Before we get into white fashion fully, you know what? It might be a good thing that nobody wanted to be on this episode, because normally you guys see me with like 2 or 3 people on here. Okay, before we get in this episode, I want to lay down some ground rules. If you are emotionally tied to if you're emotionally tied to the creators, like the organizers of the BLM organization, not the movement, the organization. If you're emotionally tied to people like DeRay McKesson, people like Sean King, y'all might want to go in and just bounce. This video is not gonna be mad. You're not gonna be happy. It's gonna mess up your Friday night. It might mess up your weekend. You'd be mad. So just go in and leave. Just go and leave. I understand. Look, you don't feel what I feel. I don't feel what you feel. You know what I'm saying? So please, you know, feel free. Now you can go in and exit. You know, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Have a wonderful life or a wonderful night. You can come back tomorrow. We can talk Young Justice and Halo. So with that said, let's get into the episode. We find ourselves dealing with a situation once again where we have another white clothier doing some semi or fully or outrageous or outright racist stuff. And of course, there's backlash. And with that backlash, they need to get some black bootlicks on board to say, nah, this white boy is cool. And then for all the black people to be like, oh, well, maybe this white boy is cool. Oh, man. So, of course, you know, we have a great conversation, which is a similar conversation that I'm sure some of you guys have had. Oh, yeah, Ghost MKC, we're going to get in that. So we have a similar conversation that you see kind of in Mo Better Blues. Sort of a branch from that conversation. In Mo Better Blues, there's a conversation between Denzel's character and Wesley's character. Wesley's character, Denzel's character is like, yo, man, I want to play new stuff. These people, they're not into it. They're like, you know, I'm trying to push the culture forward and play something crazy, creative, and eclectic and whatever. And Wesley is like, yo, play the hits. Like, yo, if you play the stuff that they would like, people would come. Simple as that. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to be, you know, cutting edge and forward moving and everything. They don't want that. Dumb it down. Similar to Lupe Fiasco, a once great rapper. We'll leave that to another video. But he's like, yo, dumb it down. So in this side, we're having the conversation with your boy, Paperboy, and Ern. And Ern is like, well, don't this seem like some Uncle Tom type stuff? Like, don't you feel like this to you? And Paperboy like, look, I'm getting that paper, boy. Like, yo, look, I'm trying to get that money. look, they gonna do this anyway, whatever. I'm trying to get this money. And then Ern's like, well, at least make sure that you'll be on the board for 5 years. You can see how it works. Maybe start your own thing, bring it back to the hood, do something, help, take it to another level, blah, blah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And get people to reinvest. And he's like, yo, here you come with the spook who sat by the door, Martin Luther King, here we go. And I ain't gonna front. I was definitely, I've been earned in so many conversations where I'm like, dude, we can do this, dude, we can do that. Most people ain't feeling it because, a lot of people, we all just caught in the rat race. And most people just like, yo, man, I'm just trying to get mine. So I see Paperboy's side. Like, yo, look, man, we ain't stopping this. Like, even in the press conference, she's like, is racism over? It's like, obviously, no. So I see his side, but the whole idea of like trying to do something, having the ability, but Paperboy is right. What happened to all these dudes that you talking about? What happened to all these guys? All these guys we referencing right now, what happened to them? Dead. All these guys that we like, oh snap, yo. Like, yo, we can do it like this, man. They were so inspirational, blah, blah, blah. Dead. So I get where they're coming from. I get both sides, but I'm usually on the side of Earn. Like if you've been on this channel long enough, I'm on Earn's side with this one. And the interesting part is that Paperboy, like, I ain't worried about the streets, yo. I done shot people, son. and that's an interesting point to stick on because him saying like, hey, I'm connected to the streets, there is this sense of, there's a certain amount of people or a certain type of people that are going to roll with you if you always show yourself to be genuine, you always show yourself to be, straight up with the people that you apparently represent. And this, Tyler, I won't say Darius causes all the problems. Darius didn't cause this one. He causes a good amount of problems, but he ain't causing them all. So just to get into this point of how he's trying to fix it is very interesting because now we get opened up to the world of online social media armchair activism, and we get invited and introduced to this world of essentially activism for fame. Now, oh man, so activism for fame is something that has been running rampant for the last, 5 to 10, maybe even longer. I mean, it's been some serious stuff recently. Like, the activism for fame has been running rampant. People have been calling it out, but when you have a dominant society that rewards the butt-kissery of white supremacy, there's really nothing you can do to get these people out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you see these people, AKA, Patrice Khan, you know what I'm saying? Patrice Khan Colors or whatever, Tamika Mallory, you see D-Ray McKessons, you see Sean King, we're behind the scenes, they're straight just stomping all over the place, hurting, harming people, shutting people's stuff down, standing in people's way for activism and stuff like that. But every time there's a camera, here they come. Here come, what's the lawyer's name? The bald-headed lawyer? And he do bald-headed brothers bad. What's his name? The one that can't talk. The Crump, that's his name. So here we go, Crump, whatever his name is, here we go. Every time there's a camera, here you go. Here you are. And you get to see these people amassing levels of fame that open doors and provide access to money and opportunities that seem to be only benefiting themselves and their crew. when every time you hear their mouth open, it's the people. So here we come with your boy with essentially like the D-Ray McKesson of the show. And he's like, yo, man, look, you ain't never been in these? Yo, check it. Look, they got all this money. Look, all we got to do is just say that, they sorry and, they going to be all right. That's all we got to say. Then you're introduced to, I assume who would be like the Tamika Mallory of the show, maybe. And then also you get your Sean King. And homie had the brush. Why was he trying to brush that hair, man? You ain't getting no waves, man. Like, you can't get waves. Stop it. Stop brushing. You can't get no waves. And he was like, as a black man or something. Like, Paperboy was like, is this dude black? And like, even the D-Ray McKesson of the show called him Dolezal. Like, it's son, it's some Dolezals out there for real. So it's an interesting look at the way these people operate in times of crisis for these large operations, these large organizations, places like, Louis Vuitton or the Gap or, whatever, insert big fashion company. And what it ends up being in the end of the day is a cash grab. You know what I'm saying? It's a flip. It's a lick for all these people. You know what I'm saying? They're like, they come into the joint and they're like, yo, so Paperboy, what do you want to change? What do you want to do? What do you want to happen? The Paperboys are like, oh, we can do this. We can do that. This is what I want. This is what I want to change. And then they go to the next person. He's like, yo, look, I want tickets to, the Black Panther 2. You know what I'm saying? I want to get this. I want money for that. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the new Nikes or something. And it ends up being nothing, like we said, but a game. And it basically, it seems like the show is basically just saying like, yo, look, it's all fantasy. It's all a game. And your emotions and your feelings on the situation are essentially the chips that they're playing with. Now, shouts to Ghost MKC says this episode really is really how it goes down and how one way you can navigate through an infrastructure built to serve white ego. I prefer Earn's way if I was to work with the system, but I'm anti-system though. I would say I feel you on the Earn side, and the anti-system. It would be cool to work with the system. The only thing is the system is never going to allow you to really do what needs to be done. And that's the conversation that we get between Paperboy and, fake D-Ray in the show is basically like, yo, so you want them to basically fund their own demise. Now, that's one thing that I would call alarmist and say like, Black people spending their money in the community is not going to make the Gap disappear. It's not going to make Louis Vuitton disappear. It's not going to make, Jimmy Choo disappear. It's not going to make any of these things just like, fade into obscurity. Like none of that stuff is going to happen. But the fear of the dominant society on losing one penny is real. And also their ego, similar to what I believe Tyler Bennett said earlier, the ego around always being perceived as right, good, and true is something that is very important to them. It's the like you'll see in situations like this, white people in this kind of situation are more interested in being called racist instead of being racist. You know what I'm saying? Like if you call them racist, they'll be like, oh, but they'll be racist like all the time. Like they're racist all the time, but like if you say it, then it's a problem. It's all about the perception for them. So this company has to protect this perception essentially. And what we see in this perception, this protection of it is we get the video from Paperboy, and Paperboy's like, hey man, this is my pitch. Y'all should do this, right? And we get this video. Oh man. Homie said we wanted it to be inclusive. we get a video. All right, so he was like, reinvest in your hood, right? And we know good and well we talking about Black communities, you know, neighborhoods in areas that are like, you know, high percentage of Black people. And we get this commercial. We got white folks, we got cowboys, we got gay people, we got all this stuff that is not talking about the people you offended in the beginning of the show. Now, once again, I ain't got nothing against cowboys. I ain't got nothing against, was it like a little white girl in there? Or gay people? But y'all were not offended by this company in the beginning of the show. They were supposed to be making up. They were supposed to be making up and apologizing for offending a group. And that group was Black people. But in this commercial, you get like this all lives matter view. Our hood, your hood, it's all of our hood. It's like, what? Yo, I would have even been down with Paperboy going in there like Ice Cube. Like, bruh, I saw the commercial. I was like, you know what? This is what would happen though. Like, it's almost so sad. It's almost so sad. Because it's like, I was like, this is par for the course. Like, this is exactly what they would feed us. They'd be like, invest in all hoods. All of our hood is a hood. Our hood is connected. It's a connective hood. Yeah. But Ghost MKC says, the reinvest in your hood reminded me of that Yoo-Hoo commercial that the rapper dancing on the Whitey execs. Yo, that Yoo-Hoo commercial, oh man. He said the Whitey execs signed to exploit their culture for profit, not going to the Black community. Yes. And Paperboy did snap. Yeah, he did. Because I can see him being like, yo, man, hold up. What's going on? Tyler Bennett said, I'm going to start snitching soon like Whack 100. Yo, I don't even know what's going on with Whack 100. Like, I have no idea. I'm out the loop. So all I know is I don't know if he snitched or there's an audio tape or something and people mad at him. I don't know, man. I don't know what he done did. I can't keep up with all that. I be trying. Like I see stuff on Twitter sometimes. I don't know what he got into. Him and academics or something, and people angry about something. I don't know. I saw Thought Crimes, streaming on it. I don't know. They'll give me the down. They'll give me the low. They'll let me know what's going on. They'll tell me what's going on in the streets. But it's very interesting that this literally just lays out, I mean, with spritzes of comedy, but it lays out what we've been experiencing ever since essentially the modern era of activism with Trayvon Martin. What we've been seeing with the organizers of BLM. Not BLM, the movement, the people that are in the streets, I have nothing against them. Yes, Black Lives Matter, and we need to push forward for everything we want from our cities, from our counties, from our states, from our federal government. And we need to push, and if we gotta be in your front door, and we gotta be in your courtroom, and we gotta be at your job, then that's where we gotta be at. But the organizers, they full of it. And they stole money from the Black community to be able to just live the high life while then turning around and essentially thumbing their nose on some like, well, you just don't know how organizations run. It's like, bro, y'all had over $90 million. Ain't none of these families see no money. Y'all ain't really did nothing in the community that changes or moves the needle for Black people whatsoever. And let's not even get started on like people saying that they socialists or they Marxists, they buy $1 million homes here, there, and everywhere. You even like, bruh, look, if you want to go down a deep dive of these people, you can. It's just, it's funny and sad at the same time. But on the side of seeing this play out, you get to see how trying to be genuine in this system, once again, just isn't working. It's just not working. where you do have to figure out, hey, how can I do this outside the system? Because the system won't even allow me to be honest about anything. And then when we get in the back room where it's supposed to be, Black people, even though it wasn't all Black people, but don't get me started, where it's supposed to be Black people, they're not even genuine about it. It's just a hustle for them. You know what I'm saying? It's a cash grab. It's a hustle for them. So what you end up seeing is perpetuation of racism and fear and hate, which turns into violence and dead Black bodies. And you got people playing games, for money, for, nonprofits that probably end up doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got nonprofits right now changing nothing in the street. They'll be like, we did a basketball clinic. I'll be like, yeah, that's great and all. Kids got to play basketball for a week. But what did you do to change their lives? And don't get me wrong, I love basketball. Basketball is great. Played it, had fun. Still enjoy to watch it every now and then. But there's nothing fundamentally going on to change these people's lives, to free them from the chains of financial oppression, educational oppression, judicial oppression, legislative oppression, none of that. So what you see is the activism for fame taking on the same guise and tactics of white supremacy, of doing a whole bunch of like beautification projects. Like, hey, Black people, we know you want cops to stop killing you, but how about if we paint a street? Will that work for you? Or we know not only do you want reparations, but we owe you reparations. But how about we give you a car commercial? and what we'll do is we'll stock it full of, successful Black people, and it'll be produced by a Black company, and all of you guys can be happy because you got a chance to see yourself on screen. You got the emotion of seeing yourself on screen. You know what I'm saying? Even though we controlled how you were seen on screen. That's a whole nother thing. So shouts to Tracy Lee. Tracy Lee in the chat. What up, what up? Tracy Lee says, hey family, just popped in. This episode of Atlanta was crazy and deep. I'm going back to sleep. Catch you on the replay. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get your rest on. You gotta get your sleep. Because you got to you got to get back up and fight for another day. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was interesting, just showing how frustrating it was for Paperboy, who didn't care at first, and then was like, you know what? I do got an opportunity to do something. Let me try. And just how frustrating it is to even try to be genuine or to do something real, tangible inside of the system. Because even he was trying to get his at first. He was like, yo, I want clothes. I want this, I want that, I want all these things. And now look at him. Look at what he had to go through. And it's sad that even at the end of the episode, it's like the world keeps spinning, because our favorite lofty drifter, Darius goes from being like, yo, I want some jollof rice, to essentially like getting the mom and pop shop bought by this white lady who's essentially just stealing the idea. And I had a stream a while back. This is years ago. And I was, maybe I called in the Thought Crimes. I can't remember what this was, but I remember maybe I was talking offline to Thought Crimes, but whatever it is, I was like, when you have an idea, what'll happen is they'll see you on your little platform, whether you might have a great program in your city and you're doing some great work with, helping families do this or do that. And you might be helping like 3 or 4 families. all right? And you'll be doing some great work, and you help those 3, and then you get another 3 families, and you help them, I don't know, maybe buy their home or whatever. You're doing awesome work, right? White person will come, take that whole idea, take that whole, everything that you're doing, right? Put that joint on some t-shirts and act like they made it. It's like, yo, you better hurry up and post and type and record all you can, because they will take that joint so fast. You'll wake up and be like, hey, come on. Like, homegirl had Nyjah. She didn't even know what Nyjah was. Yo, look, there is nothing better. So, and I'm in Los Angeles, so we get it all around here. There is nothing better than some authentic, non-authentic ethnic food. Lisa, am I wrong? You be like, this is Southern cooking. Then you go in there and be like, hey, ain't none of y'all up in here Southern cooking nothing. Like, look, man, look. Even Paperboy wanted some real mac and cheese. So then, of course, whenever it comes to the Nyjah stuff, or whenever they want to take something and like make it theirs, she's like, oh, this is a barbecue, something infused. Like they always want to like elevate the meal, even though everything was fine. It was awesome. But you see how, even in this case, going along with the curse of whiteness, just making them aware of how good something is can be detrimental to your business or your favorite thing. Just her being aware. She did not care. She was not interested. But she went there and she was like, ooh, toy, I want it. So she just bought the building. She bought the building, kicked the dudes out, closed the place, and opened her own shop. That's what they'll do. Perfect example. Just like these towns that people have started learning about. Of course, the most I guess notable one would be when we look at Watchmen, or we look at Lovecraft Country. Of course, we see Oklahoma, we see Tulsa, and in Tulsa, essentially what happened after they burned and firebombed the town, like white people just took it. Like they didn't leave it. They didn't like leave it like, oh, nobody's gonna live there. They just took it. Just took the land. They just took the houses or took the land there and built their own house. They just took it. And so old girl just essentially firebombed that lady's business. She bought the building, shut the business down. She was like, oh, I haven't heard from her. I didn't have her information. What you mean you didn't have her information? When you bought the building, she was a tenant, so you definitely had her information. You didn't want her information because you were putting her out of business so you could open your food truck. Bruh, the gall is real, man. The gall is real. That's all I can say. The gall is real on stuff like this. And I love how this show is able to outline these things in passing with comedy, but with a lot of subtext as well, to where, Darius sits down and she's so proud of herself. She's like, I call this the Darius. And he's like, all right. And then Darius sits there and she's like, your money's no good here. Like, I'm supposed to be happy that you shut down this business from this, family business, this lady that's been working probably her life to have this dope restaurant, and she's over here minding her business, not bothering you. You're chilling. You're rich enough to just buy a building at the drop of a hat. You're chilling. You don't need this. This is her life. And there's probably nobody in the community, like you said, you had to come all the way up here to get this. So it's not like there's spots like this everywhere. So she's probably the only spot in the community that got it like this, and you just got rid of it. Just like that. She Thanos that joint. So she can have a food truck. Bruh. So she can serve not jollof rice. That's what she, bruh. Yo, man. The psychosis of whiteness is real. And this show is doing an awesome job of displaying like the stuff that happens. Now, it's crazy because Darius sat there with the plate in his hand and was like, "Nah, I can't do it." And then as he walks away, dude throws the food in the trash, only to be scolded by some other Karen, like, you really should recycle that. Like, mind your business. First, there's food in there. You can't recycle food. You can only recycle, like, just mind your business. Walk your dog. Do that. How about that? Walk your dog. Mind your business. Ghost MKC said she didn't care, but that's the point. True. And yes, Ghost MKC, the block changed overnight. Yes, I got family in New York City that's like, yo, Brooklyn ain't the same. Brooklyn ain't been the same. Even back home in Richmond, Virginia, there's neighborhoods that, bruh, it used to, I know this older man that used to call areas that I'm thinking of right now, Gunsmoke. He called areas like this Gunsmoke. And now you got Karens walking poodles at like 10 p.m. And you're like, what? What? It's cool. It's safe like that? Bruh, we just saw, now they did hit another area, but there was a young lady that was unfortunately, she was killed in an area, I think they said 2 weeks ago. And due to this woman, white woman, that was killed in this area 2 weeks ago, they got the FBI, the ATF, the local police, and city council people walking the street door to door to make sure people feel calm and safe in their neighborhood. I want to ask you, do you think you know what this area looked like? Now, the funny thing is, this area that they're walking around used to be the hood. But now, the people want it back. So now them people, they live in there. And it's cool if you live in there, fine, cool. You bought the block, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You live there, you done changed it. Now it's boba tea shops and stuff and Whole Foods, great. But these same people could have walked the same blocks to ensure the safety of these other people in the same neighborhood. Now all of a sudden it's time to ensure the community they safe. Officer come on screen and say, we here to serve y'all. We just want y'all to know that we care and that we're out here for you. Wow. Ain't that something? Well, whoo. So a lot of weight off my shoulders. Bruh, man, look. It'd be funny style. So this episode is great. This episode is another like Emmy Award winning episode. But boy, does it make you angry. not angry. Like I don't want to break anything. It's just that like ironic anger where it's just like you're just like, this is it. This is exactly. Like, like you got the Soho Karen. Because even, let's say, I don't know whether Van stole or not. Say she did steal. She did steal, all right? What gives you the authority to just grab someone? You want to know what? The psychosis of whiteness. Because, see, remember, there was a time where they could. Them good old boys could just grab you up. They ain't need no badge, no nothing. They can just grab you up and take you wherever. You might end up at the police station. Might not. There's a lot of young brothers and sisters gone. In the swamp somewhere, in a ditch somewhere. Because some people just grabbed them up because they just have assumed authority. The way she grabbed Van was just like, you knew this lady had to have a badge, right? Man, she gonna make a citizen's arrest. And of course, you see that here in the States. That I've seen that used in a couple situations throughout the South on in the news lately. People talking about citizens arrest. Citizens arrest. You ain't cared about a citizen's arrest one day in your life. Now all of a sudden, here come a brother walking down the street. Now all of a sudden, it's a citizen's arrest time. Bruh, look, it's just crazy. So, you got the Soho Karen stuff, and even in real life as it's playing out, Soho Karen is not going to see any real, she's not going to see any real complications, any real consequences, any real life-altering, response from the community or from her family or from any organization. She's just out here wilding, and it's cool. It's cool for her to just randomly attack people. Now, if she went to attack that boy and homeboy gave her a 2-piece and a biscuit, then we'd be talking about how this boy is violent, how in school he stole somebody's pencil. Like, I'll save it for lounging. With that said, Barraborn, what up? Oh man. Shout out to Barraborn. I see your comment. I'm not trying to sell us short. I'm not trying to sell us short. I'm just saying there's this assumed authority that's just out there. That's just with all of these Karenistic Chad type people. It's just this authority, like they're like automatically your father or something like that. So yeah, I'll save it for lounging. But guys, great episode. Love the episode. Everybody learned some hard lessons. I'm still holding out hope that by the end of this series, Van and Ern are back together as a good, healthy family. Don't shake your head at me. Do not shake your head. Black love is always the way to go. Van might be crazy right now, but between season 3 and 4, she might get therapy and she'll be good. You know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, that's true. True that. So, guys, much love. NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit the thumbs up, share this, subscribe, all that jazz. I could use you, know what I'm saying? I could use the assistance in the algorithm. Google try to keep a brother down. Google don't be sending out notifications to people that done click the bell. Google don't be sending the emails. Google don't be updating people's statuses. Google don't even be, Google be trying to like turn my monetization off. Look, help me fight the empire. You know what I'm saying? The empire ain't even got to strike back. I ain't even struck the empire yet. I ain't did nothing. I ain't got nothing yet. I ain't even put one in the clip yet. Bruh, I ain't even put the magazine in. You know what I'm saying? They coming after me like I'm out here shooting like I'm, at the OK Corral. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to stop a brother. So look, right now, if you could, subscribe. If you could, hit that like button. If you could, share this to one of your friends. I want you to, won't you come? Won't you come? Share in this with other people. Let them know about the awesome NERDSoul that we talk about hip hop, geek. You know what I'm saying? We got Picard this weekend. We got some hip hop this weekend. We got Young Justice this weekend. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole bunch of dope stuff for you. We right here. We got Guilty Gear Strive coming this week. Man, come on, y'all. Come, won't you come? So, with that said, my final thoughts are that, protecting that, watch your back, stay real, because it's tough out in the streets. So, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. Tyler Bennett says them alphabet boys be tripping on NERDSoul. Man, look, Google, they don't want to see me shine. All right? They don't want to see me elevate, if you will. But, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep on trucking, keep on chilling. Y'all come through here to hang with me, we going to hang. So, I'm going to leave y'all with some black comics because y'all need to check out some of that literature. All right, shouts to Bitterroot, Crescent Sea Monsters, Tuskegee Airs, Pac Samson, One Nation. What's some other black comics out there that I'm reading right now? We got Vigilance on the way. We got if Brandon Easton's graphic novel Dominion's Light, we waiting for that to come out. We waiting for Changa. We waiting for some dope stuff, and when it gets down the pike, I'll holler at y'all. So until next time, we got some dope beats. We got some dope beats, man. You know what? I'm gonna just let y'all hear them dope beats. I ain't even gonna hold y'all from them. Here they go, right here. Without further ado, peace. And we out.